Ne-am întors aici la GPeC SUMMIT, alături de mine, Tom Fishburne. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for your presence here. Tom Fishburne is creator of Marketoonist, right?
That's correct.
What is Marketoonist?
I started drawing a cartoon strip almost a little over 20 years ago as a hobby on top of my day job, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh
and I eventually started a business using cartoons as marketing campaigns for different companies.
Lovely. So you actually create cartoons for marketing campaigns?
I do.
Lovely.
And I still draw a cartoon every week about marketing. So cartoons as marketing,
That's
cartoon about
lovely.
marketing.
That's lovely. So for our audience at home who didn't see your presentation, can you please summarize it a little bit and take us through the main ideas?
Absolutely. So my title was The Funny Side of Digital Marketing, or The Customer Journey to Nowhere. So I use cartoons to poke fun at the things that can happen in marketing that we all identify with where the customer experience doesn't quite work. And then I share examples of ways that companies are approaching things a little bit differently. And today I talked a little bit about something about marketing myopia, which is an old concept in marketing from the 1960s that sometimes...
60s?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Sometimes we're so close to our brands because we're so knowledgeable in marketing, we actually miss the big picture. Today I talked about modern marketing myopia, the things in digital marketing that can hold us back, whether it's about myopia with being obsessed with technology or being obsessed with data or being obsessed with organizational silos, and how if we're too rigid and focused and nearsighted at how we look at our brands, we miss the big picture.
But what do you think about missing the big picture? What is the main cause?
Well, I think oftentimes we just get too we there's a great quote that people don't want a quarter-inch drill, they want a quarter-inch hole, and too often marketers are trying to market the drill. And that's the case whether you're thinking about, oh my gosh, we have to be on TikTok or we have to figure out how to use ChatGPT. Sometimes we think about the one piece of it, get too narrow, and we forget about how that's actually providing value or utility to the customers we're trying to reach.
Tom, if you can tell me what are the main steps for an effective digital marketing strategy and what are the main ingredients for an effective online marketing strategy? What should have?
Yeah, so there's a Google quote I came across that people are more loyal to their needs in the moment than they are to any particular brand. And that's a big shift from the way marketing used to happen, where it was all about driving loyalty beyond reason. You want to inspire people to always buy your products.
It's an entire fluctuation.
Yes, but if you understand the needs in the moment, which is more possible than ever before, because the tools that we have around data, around segmentation, around understanding our audience, you can deliver utility on those needs in the moment, and the best marketing plans do that.
Okay, and if you can tell us about the current trends in digital marketing, what are they?
So I like taking a long view in marketing. Because I think sometimes we jump on the new trend without thinking about what's actually going to be something that will stand the test of time.
Because if you ask me, the trends, they are not correlated with each other. They are totally different. The trends are totally different between them.
Yes. I think there's some major sea changes in marketing, and sometimes our mindset hasn't kept up with it. Like I think a lot of marketing plans are designed as if we still have a captive audience of marketing. There's no such thing as a captive audience any longer. And so I think that brands that have the right mindset, combined with all the tools that we have available to us, can actually make an impact. But if you use all the latest tools, the latest trends, the latest technology, but you still have an outdated mindset, you won't take full advantage of all of those.
What about the AI? Do you think that the AI can shape the future of marketing?
It has the potential, but the first level of it is basically using it the same as every other brand. And I've heard AI described as the great samening, makes everything the same. And brands that sound the same, ultimately you can't break through the clutter by adding to the clutter. And most of the applications that I've seen with AI have been adding to the clutter. So ultimately the best use cases of AI are where it's a partnership with real insight, a real reason for being, an understanding of what you're trying to do for your end customer. And it's a partnership between the teams and AI. But I see a lot of brands just outsourcing it to AI.
Do you use AI for your cartoons?
I don't. I use it sometimes for research. Yes, I feel like the best use case I've seen has been a research assistant and sometimes helping with iterations. So sometimes I'll meet with a client, they'll give me all of this material and I'll want to synthesize it down to where I need to focus. And then the research AI can step in and help with that aspect of it. And then I can use my human creativity to figure out where to go. Usually, as I've experimented with AI for the creative part, it usually does what it thinks is going to be the quickest or rightest answer. But what I said earlier, it ends up being everything the same and you don't really stand out.
Of course. How do you see the current, how do you see actually the future of digital marketing in your opinion?
I think it's going to be led by smaller challenger brands that can actually new entrants and those that don't have the baggage of incumbents because they're willing to experiment and try new things. And it's an exciting time to be a challenger brand because you can punch harder than your weight. You can actually have an impact that's much larger than your size or your scale. And that is an incredibly exciting time to work in marketing. Because if you have an inspiring idea and you're willing to try new things and find direct connections with audiences, you can compete against larger brands in ways you never could before.
I was very fascinated about what you do, actually, that you make cartoons for marketing campaigns.
Yes.
Can you name 2 marketing campaigns, famous or not?
Yes.
That you work with?
I've worked a lot with a company called Workboard. It's a software company in the US that's all about team collaboration. And so in that series of cartoons, we've created dozens and dozens of cartoons around where collaboration doesn't happen to get people laughing at, oh my gosh, I've been there when collaboration doesn't happen. And then it helps set up Workboard as a solution to that collaboration. But I've worked with everyone from Google to Adobe to 200 different organizations on marketing campaigns using cartoons.
And if, let's make an exercise of imagination.
Yes.
How does it look, a marketing campaign? What do you, 3 elements that you will draw in a cartoon for a collaboration between GPeC SUMMIT and
between
cartoon?
Who?
Between GPeC SUMMIT.
Oh, yes.
Yes, here. And if you can draw a cartoon that should actually shape collaboration between GPeC SUMMIT and their influence in digital marketing and e-commerce. 3 elements.
That is really difficult.
Right?
Yes. Well, I'll say, first of all, when I work on a cartoon, it's slow. The idea is that you read a cartoon and it's fast. It looks like it was done really quickly. But it's slow. It involves a lot of tying together asynchronous elements until it gets to a place where it's a little bit like a riddle. There's a picture, there are words, the reader sees the 2 together, they put them together, and has to unlock it, and that's what makes it funny. And so it's iteration until you get to that point. So I can't do anything in improv level that quickly because I tend to have, for every cartoon that I finalize, I have a stack of index cards of partial ideas that aren't quite there yet. It's just a really it's a slow process. It's a process designed to make, it's handwritten, hand drawn, it's human. The cartooning medium is a really ancient medium in how humans communicate. But if you do it right, it unlocks like no other type of visual media.
Then I will wait for you till the next time.
Yes. Yes, wonderful.
Okay, and to end the conversation, for the digital marketers at home who want to learn and to be up to date with everything about online marketing strategies, can you give us a few examples of resources, specialists, or tools that actually they should follow?
Yes, so I look at a lot of different things. As a cartoonist, I'm kind of a sponge.
So exactly, because you really need to have
a lot of trade magazines like Marketing Week in the UK and others like that to see what's happening on just the baseline level in the industry. But where I get the most inspiration, as I mentioned earlier, relates to challenger brands. I love finding brands that are smaller that have to be creative because of their size. They can't rely on budgets to get the message out there. They have to rely on creativity. And so there's an agency in the UK called Eat Big Fish that is all about smaller fish eating the bigger fish. And they have incredible case studies of brands that are able to do a lot more than larger brands by virtue of being challengers.
Tom, thank you so much for your presence here. Your information is priceless, actually. Thank you for your panel from the stage. Thank you for for our conversation from here, because we have an audience that cannot be present at the conference. Thank you for being here and hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. It's been so fun to be in Romania and to be at the conference.
Thank you so much.